loves, and welcome to my channel. So today's video is going to be a celebrity inspired makeup tutorial. I took inspiration from this picture of Kendall Jenner. I thought it was so beautiful. Her makeup artist did such a beautiful job. It's just a very bronzy, smoky eye with kind of like that spotlight in the middle of the lid. And if you look closely, it kind of looks a little like olive green, that khaki look. And I'm obsessed with that color right now. I feel like most of the world is. But yeah, so I just wanted to recreate it and do my take on it. This is the finished look. I love it. I love how it turned out. I love that spotlight in the middle of the lid. It really like opens the eyes and like makes them pop. So I really loved it. Of course, I am not even near as tan as she is. But I did a little, you know, extra bronzing just for the purpose of this tutorial. And I loved how it turned out. And yeah, if you guys want to see how I got this look, then please just keep on watching. Hey loves, so jumping right into it, I am going to start off by priming my face with the Makeup Forever, the Step 1 Skin Equalizer. This is the hydrating primer. Just because my skin's more on the dehydrated side, so I really like to use this before applying makeup just to kind of nourish my skin a little bit more. And of course I have those monthly breakouts. And here I'm using a new product to me. I'm still in the testing phase. This is the Estee, this is by Estee Edit, by Estee Lauder. This is a Pore Vanishing stick. So far I really like it. It's definitely different just because it is in a stick formula, but I love it so far anyways. And here I'm going in with my beauty blender, and the foundation that I'm using is the L'Oreal True Match Lumi Cushion. I'm in the shade N3.5. I really like this foundation. I wouldn't say it's very like buildable, but I do enjoy it. It's very lightweight on the skin and it covers majority of what I need it to. Just blending, blending, blending. And here I'm going in with the MAC Prep and Prime. This is I use it as a corrector, but it's a highlighter really in Peach Lustre. I just like to use that to kind of correct some of my dark circles. And for concealer, I'm using the Ulta Full Coverage Concealer in Light Cool. And just blending that out with my beauty blender. And I sprayed a little bit of Fix Plus on my beauty blender just to give a little extra hydration for under the eyes. And those lovely faces. You know you do it too. And here I'm setting my under eye. I was using a new powder. This is by Terry Hyaluronic Hydra-Powder. I like the powder. It's very finely milled, but it has like a little bit of a flashback, which I'm not a fan of. And to set the rest of the face, I am using the MAC Mineralized SkinFinish in Light Plus. Nothing new there, just my typical routine. And here I'm going in with bronzer. This is my new beloved bronzer. This is by Tom Ford in 02 Terra. I'm really loving this bronzer. It really just gives a nice bronzy look to the skin without being too orange, which I like a lot. I just grabbed a clean brush just to really make sure everything is blended into the skin, and I'm adding a little bit more just for the sake of the video, just because I really wanted that super bronzy look to the skin. And you can tell that I'm super pale right now. I'm going in for the eyes. I am using the Givenchy 16-hour hold waterproof cream eyeshadow. This is in 6 Kaki Brocart. And I'm just using a different mirror to get closer up. And I'm just applying that. I started to apply it just like all over my lid, but then I realized that I wanted to do more of like a spotlight. So I'm applying it more on the inner corner and on the outer corner of the eyes, and really focusing on like leaving the center of the lid bare. And I'm using a cream eyeshadow brush. You can use anything really. You can see now that I switched to like a more pencil brush, just because my eyes are smaller, so I don't have that much lid space. So just to really get in the nooks and crannies, I find it easier for my eye shape. And really here, all I'm doing is going back into the cream eyeshadow and kind of making the intensity what I want it to be. So really just like focusing on darkening it up a little bit. I'm just really focusing on blending out the edges as well. Not being too neat or anything, I'm taking that same cream shadow and bringing it down on the lower lash line to really give it that smoky look. And really for this look, it's all about preference and the intensity that you choose. So really make it what you want. It's just really the tones that I was in love with. eyeshadow color. This is in Staying Olive, and I'm really just using this to kind of pack it on to the Givenchy olive base, just to intensify it a little bit more, and really just using it to kind of also blend it out a little bit better. Again, just going in with the H&M eyeshadow tone. I have a light hand generally, just because I prefer to go in 20 times if I have to add an intensity, rather than just going like full force with color and then having to take away. It's much harder to take away than to add color. So now I'm going in with Makeup Geek Frappe, and just using that as a transition color just to really warm up the look a little bit better. I think it added great dimension to the eye, and like I said, really warmed it up, which I love a warm eye look. Even if it's like a cooler tone, I have to go in with kind of a warmer shade in the transition. I think it just brings my eyes to life. And here I'm going in with the NYX, the Go To palette, I believe it's called. And this is in the name of the palette, I should say, is called Wanderlust. There is another one, but I have the Wanderlust palette. I'm just using the gold shade. There's no name for it, but it's the number 5 in the palette. And I'm using that on a just flat brush, and I'm picking up pigment and then spraying with my brush with Fix Plus just to give a little bit more intensity to the shadow. I really wanted the center of my eyes to really pop out from the green. It gives such a pretty contrast. And then here I'm taking an Anastasia Beverly Hills eyeshadow, and this is in Metal, I believe it's called. And I'm just using that to like just give a little bit more intensity to the gold. The gold was pretty, but it was a little bit muted, and I just want to give it a little extra kick. And when you do that, you want to go back into the brush that you were using. I'm using a pencil brush that I used to apply the olive green, just to really blend and marry the two colors together, just so you don't have like a start line and a stop line, you know. It just really makes it look more seamless. And here I'm taking the Frappe color by Makeup Geek on the same pencil brush that I applied the olive tone, just to blend it out a little bit better and give the same dimension that the eyelid had to the bottom. And here I'm going in with the Michael Kors. This is a little tester sample that I got for my birthday for Sephora. This is the Highliner Gel Crayon, and the color is Blacker, I believe. I love this pencil. It stayed on. I did this look and then I wore it for the rest of the day, and it really stayed. The black did not move. Taking it off, I still have it on my eyes. It won't come off, and it's the next day. And I'm just using another flat brush just to kind of blend it into my lash line, really. Because not only did I put it on the waterline, I also placed it on the lash line and just really wanted to smudge it out. I'm just doing the same thing to the other eye here. Once again, here I'm going in the Makeup Geek Frappe just to darken it up a little bit. And now I'm taking the same Marc Jacobs gel crayon and applying it to the top of my lashes, my upper lashes, right above it, just to give the lashes a little bit more depth and darkness. And I'm using the same flat brush that I was using before. It's a flat, but it's also a dense brush. And I will list it down below. I can't remember the name, but it is a Morphe brush from their Gunmetal collection. And I'm just using it to kind of smudge the gel crayon. And now I'm taking very light blush, really, in the picture that I was trying to recreate. She really didn't look like she had much blush on, but I just wanted to apply a little bit. And this one is the Wet n Wild, the Ombre blush in Princess Daiquiris. And for my favorite part, as most of you probably know, it's the highlighting. I'm using first the Laura Mercier, the the Matte Radiance Baked Powder. This is in Highlight 01. I'm applying that to the tops of my cheeks, the center of my nose, and just a smidge on my forehead. And then I didn't feel like it was the tone that I wanted. It was a little too pale for me. And of course I dropped my brush, per usual. And here I'm using the Anastasia Beverly Hills So Hollywood. And just using a clean brush just to really blend everything together. And of course, I was doing a Kendall Jenner inspired tutorial, so I went in with the Kylie Jenner Dolce K in her lip liner. I love the tone of this lip liner, and the formula is probably one of my favorites. It glides on so easily. You know, if you make a mistake, it's easy to correct. I absolutely am in love with these liners. since I wasn't using a lip color or a lipstick or liquid lipstick per se, I just really filled in my lip with the Kylie lip liner. And after I finished, I thought it was a little darker than I wanted it to be, so I just took MAC lip liner in, I believe it's called Naked Liner. It's their Naked Liner, I believe. Yes, Naked Liner. And it just really lightened it a tad. I didn't want anything to really lighten it up that much, but it did what I wanted it to do. And then I'm taking MAC Shadow Blanc Type just on like a smudge brush, and I'm using it to highlight the brow bone. I'm not a huge fan of the shimmery highlights for under the brow bone, but this one is so pigmented, and it's not shimmery, it's matte, and I love it. It's so intense, it's so pigmented that it really livens the brow bone a lot. And now I am done. I am just going to take my Skindinavia finishing spray and set everything. And that is it.